What is up, guys? This is Cobb, and don't rush, man. Today can be a good day if you let it. In case there's not a disaster going on and something outside of Raid Shadow Legends, don't be letting the game get you down. Especially when it comes to FOMO inside of Raid Shadow Legends. There's a lot of people who got Leonardo recently. You know what? There's just as many, if not more, people that didn't get Leonardo recently. You know what's crazy, man? You know what's crazy? As epic as it was getting Leonardo on my account, and as crazy it was to be pulling the 5-star soul for Leonardo, just completely randomly. For me, on my main account, Leonardo is just one of many really cool legendary champions that I've pulled over the past couple of years. You know, on an account where I'm spending, they kind of come thick and fast, man. And what's really interesting, to me at least, is that I'll still never forget the time that I pulled this, my happy little Hitatsu, and realizing after checking out this champion on hellhades.com that he's actually a pretty good early game champion to pull for things like Demon Lord Clan Boss and stuff like that, right? And so I'm fit to talk about some problems in endgame inside of Raid Shadow Legends, if they can be called problems, to be fair, as well as just why, honestly, if you miss out on a top champion on your account and it feels like the end of the world, seriously, it's not that bad. This right here, what you're seeing on screen right now, is my account 2 years ago. 2 years ago, almost to the day, when I was just getting started inside of Raid Shadow Legends. Do you notice anything? Do you notice anything? I started with nothing, dude. A Kayle, a War Priest, a bunch of uncommon champions. I didn't even start off my own account with a promo link, bro. And dude, can I just say that these days were like the best days that I ever had inside of Raid Shadow Legends, man. If you're looking to start off a new Raid account, by the way, I've got to toss it in here. Make sure that you get that done by using a promo link. Don't make my mistake that I made 2 years ago when I was just getting started in the game. Use the beginner promo link that's down below at the top of the description box, meant to get a double legendary start, as well as 3 free epic champions as you level up your account, right? Get your account off to a juiced up start. You might as well make sure to use promo code Desert Queen on day 1 of your new Raid account and to grab 2 Hana rank, so that you do get that double legendary start, all the freebies that you see on screen right now. It all begins by using the beginner promo link down below, man. But this is it. This right here is footage from my OG account when I was just getting started, and it's not just gonna be like a big nostalgia bend of a video, but I do want to talk a little bit about FOMO inside of this game, and honestly, what is the biggest joy that you're gonna get inside of Raid Shadow Legends, and that is the journey itself towards building just an awesome roster. And I tell you, man, why is the early game so hype inside of Raid? Why will I always remember, you know, the Hitatsu pull, and honestly pulling Thalesia? This is one of my oldest champions as well, and pulling Thalesia, dude, I pulled a Thalesia before I even had a chance to level 60 my War Maiden, so I was like, oh my god, Thalesia is just a War Maiden on steroids, man, she's so good, you know? I was so hyped when I pulled the Thalesia and build her up. Ooh, I can build her as like a damage dealing debuffer hybrid. It's gonna be so sick, you know. I was so pumped. And I think it's because when you're first getting started in Raid, you need everything. You need everything. This is what my roster looks like today. You know what I'm saying? I've covered every possible base multiple times that I could possibly need across multiple factions. Whereas back in the day, good old Numpkin featuring on screen just now and on my video intros. This is like the 5th video we ever uploaded on the channel, and I'm just 6-starring my Kayle for the very first time and just getting my first level 60 champion up, and Rathalos was the Logan Reward legendary, as you can see in my roster right now. You need everything when you're just getting started. You're looking for poison damage dealers, you're looking for HP burn damage dealers, you're looking for just AoE nukers to be your campaign farmer. It's usually going to be your starter champion, obviously, you know. Increased speed buffer champions, 10 meter decreases, like I'm working on an armature right here, you know, my first ever video, you know. Decreased speed debuffers, decreased defense debuffers, decreased attack debuffers. Everything is important when you're just getting started. And so that process of filling out your champion roster for the very first time feels so satisfying, man. Being able to beat Dreadhorn Bommel for the first time, unlocking Finite Stage 20 for the first time. After a point, you've completed all of those regular dungeons and you've unlocked hard modes for all of your regular dungeons. You know what I'm saying? And by the time you cleared all of those dungeons, you might be working on your Demon Lord Clan Boss team and get to a point where you are, you know, 2-keying Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord, or maybe 3-keying Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord, right? You're getting the max Demon Lord reward chest, and you can eventually work on getting it to a 2 or even just like a 1-key, you know? Maybe you're getting to a point like I am on my free-to-play account right now, where you set up 3 Hydra teams, you know? You've got 3 Hydra teams up and firing. Good stuff, man. You're doing okay into Chimera. Maybe you've cleared normal mode Doom Tower for the first time, and you're on the cusp of clearing hard mode Doom Tower for the first time. It gets to a point where you're able to farm basically all of the content in the game. This might take like a year. It might take like a year and a half even, depending on like some shard pull luck on your account. You might just get unlucky and not find anything that can help you get through Hard Doom Tower for the first time, but it's gonna happen eventually. And then what? And then what? Right? It's kind of ridiculous that it took me a couple of years, really, of playing Raid Shadow Legends to realize this, but it did, and it kind of dawned on me after grabbing all of the turtles and Leonardo, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited as hell to have all of the turtles on both my main and my free-to-play account, right? The Raph and the Leo and the Donnie, and having souls on all of them, and having them all pop off, and it's glorious to see, and the turtles, for God's sake, you know, like, it's awesome, they were unmissable for me, but at the same time, were they really unmissable? Were they really unmissable though? Like, when you're already clearing all of the top tier dungeons and stuff like that, and when you're already clearing Hydra on Nightmare and etc, etc. Because once your account gets to a certain point and your champion roster looks a little bit like this, and it's decked out and your epics are empowered and everything's awakened and it's bloody glorious and you've achieved the goal, then what? Well, then your objective in the game is to pump higher Hydra damage numbers for almost no real reward, because, you know, you can say, okay, well, you can try and pump higher damage numbers in Hydra Clash, and then your clan, you know, victory chests and stuff like that, and you can try and win the Hydra Clash, but at the end of the day, you always end up finishing around 3rd place in Hydra Clash eventually, you know? Just the way the matchmaking is in the game, right? If you have like a big spike in damage 1 week, you can come 1st place, maybe 2nd place in Hydra Clash, and then, you know, you get match made in a balanced group again next week, and you're suddenly you're finishing 4th or 3rd all over again, you know? In dungeons, it's all about just, well, once you've unlocked a hard mode stage 10, or just hard mode dungeons in general, yeah, you're trying to clear your way through these stages. Then once you get to stage 10, well, then what? You're just trying to clear the dungeons faster, more efficiently, you know? And once you're in that kind of stage in your account, once you are clearing all of the end stage dungeons and the highest difficulties of Hydra and all of those things, what are you really looking for on your account, right? Well, honestly, 90% of fusions and Deck of Fate champions and stuff like that become absolutely skippable. There are very, very, very few must-have champions anymore. And there's a loss in that. There's a loss in that. I know it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, Lamau Cobb, that's a good problem to have, you know, and yeah, okay, I get it. I'm speaking from like a pay-to-win count here perspective. Of course, I've got my free-to-play account, and I've got the spending account, which is the one that we're on right now. And of course, if you spend inside a raid, you're going to hit this issue faster, but it gets to a point where you kind of beat the game and pulling new champions, unless it's something that's actually account changing, like a Newt, for example. There's a collection of like a dozen champions inside of Raid that are actually just best in class. They are the best champion in the game at what they do, right? At like their specific job. I'd argue Newt is one of those guys, and outside of pulling champions like Newt, or fusing champions like Newt, nothing is really that mental, or at least that is to say, nothing is quite as mental as it was in the early game when you pull your first ever Royal Guard or your first ever Deacon Armstrong, you know, where it's a massive, massive account-wide upgrade. The upgrades become much, much more niche. That said, there are some areas of the game that I think that Plarium have done a very, very good job of making it so that even as like a later game player, a later stage account, you're still on the active lookout for certain champions that can help you excel in that game mode. I think Chimera is a genius game mode. I think they've done fantastically well with the Chimera boss, making it so that you're not just trying to pump damage into Chimera. It's not like Hydra, where it's just about pumping the damage numbers and like participating in a clash, which, you know, Chimera does have this as well. But with Chimera, it's also about the trials as well, right? And so you're trying to maximize rewards by trying to complete as many trials as possible, and those are much, much less obvious to sort of figure out and puzzle together on your account, and they can release new champions in future that can help you complete yet more trials, and you can be rejigging your teams, and it's great. Like, this is a great, great game mode. Another area of the game where they do a great job with this, although the game mode is, you know, a little bit undesirable to some players, myself included, is Live Arena. I feel like they do a great job of, not too often, but perhaps just about often enough, of like shaking up the Live Arena meta a little bit. Some people would argue that they don't shake it up quite enough. I wouldn't know too much about that, because again, I'm not very active Live Arena player, but I will say that the next like hot new Live Arena champion that pops up as a fusion, like Fabian or whatever, it can be kind of exciting to secure those champions on your account as well. Everywhere else in the game has this issue of once it's solved, and when you look over your champion roster, unless you are interested in speeding up your clear time from like 2 minutes to 1 minute and 10 seconds or something, knocking down your clear times in certain dungeons, then enough is as good as a feast, and every single fusion kind of becomes, and every single new champion that's released in terms of hard Fire Knight or hard Spider or hard Ice Golem or whatever, or even Demon Lord, Clan Boss and Hydra to an extent, becomes very, very take it or leave it. You know what I mean? And so honestly, this entire video is going to be a very, very roundabout way of saying, you know what, man? Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. I'm getting to a place right now where I'm worrying about this a little bit on my free-to-play account. Having Leonardo and having Raphael and Mikey and Donnie, I've got the 4 turtles on my free-to-play account, and I've just started clapping the cheeks of Hard Dragon, and we are on the brink of one-keying Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord Clan Boss on that free-to-play account. It is crazy, okay? It's crazy the upgrade that I've just got on my free-to-play, and I'm a little bit worried that it's actually going to trivialize the game a little bit and steal some of that fun and steal some of that opportunity for fun and for chasing the next new shiny thing on the free-to-play account, where usually on the free-to-play I'm so excited for new fusion champions and new Deck of Fate champions and stuff like that, just in case they're going to help me get super strong in an area of the game where I'm struggling. But the amount of areas in the game where I'm actually struggling now on the free-to-play account has just rapidly shrunk, to the point at which, honestly, I'm considering shelving or potentially soft retiring the current free-to-play account to start a fresh one for 2026. You know what I'm saying, man? That's where I'm at right now. That's how serious I am about this, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a case in point, by the way, on the main account, some champions that I've picked up from fusions and Deck of Fates and stuff like that, that I don't even use. Lady Noelle, I can't remember the last time that I actually used this champion, maybe outside of Siege, as like a Stone Skin Reviver in Siege. Basically didn't use her since getting her. She's a good champion, man, but at the end of the day, when you get other champions that do the job better, you just find that you don't use these champs. They fall by the wayside, right? A champion I expected to use a lot, Sikia Flametongue. Sikia? I'm gonna go with Sikia, whatever. I just don't use this champion. She just doesn't fit very well into many of the teams that I've got going on, and I think, do I even use her in Faction Wars? I can't remember. I must use her in Faction Wars, surely. But we got other champions here as well. Champions that I would do heinous things for to get the hands on the likes of a Snick Track on my free-to-play account. It would be awesome, right? Don't use them at all on the main account, basically anywhere. Praver the Slitherer, great support champion, fantastic stuff. Only use her in Faction Wars, you know. A Rathalos, 4-star Awakened, as you saw him 2 years ago in that video that I just referenced at the start of this video when I was looking back in time, you know. Yeah, solid champion. Don't use him anywhere anymore, you know? And there's a lot of champions that are like this, man. Champions that would be great on the free-to-play account. Even Nishak, bro. Nishak Verminlord. Powerful, powerful champion. Where do I actually use him? Nowhere. Faction Wars, you know? Faction Wars, you're always going to fall back on Faction Wars and wave content and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. So, hey, man, look. If you're feeling down in the dumps, I know there's a few people who watch the channel who pulled shards for Leonardo without, I guess, doing the math and fell short of getting the Leonardo, or the Hero's Path event for Leonardo came out, or maybe the Raphael, they really wanted the Raphael and they just didn't have enough soul stones and they just weren't able to pull for the Deck of Fate, and you feel like you missed out on these guys. Hey, man. There's always going to be opportunities that come along in the future in order to get the next, like, juicy, shiny toy inside of Raid. Time has taught us that, if anything. You know, Vaultkeeper Wixwell was a huge game changer for a lot of people. Estra Dreamsong, incredible champion that I still use everywhere. Just a fragment fusion champion randomly, you know. Fabian is another one of those as well, fusion champion. Yeah, these absolute powerhouse champions come by every now and again, and don't feel too bad if you're missing out. Especially don't feel like you have to spend on these events in order to keep up. Oh, that's easy for me to say. I understand that's easy for me to say. As a content creator, I've got a monthly budget that I use on this channel for, you know, taking part in big events inside of the game and stuff like that. So it's real easy for me to say. If you want to spend, you spend, man. You do you, you know. But at the same time, do also take a moment to appreciate that the joy of Raid, as it is with many things, is in the journey and not quite as much as, you know, in the destination. I love my main account. Don't get me wrong, I love how many options for making videos I have on my main account, right? It's the main reason I spend on this thing, is to be able to make videos and pump out guides and stuff like that on my main account. It's sweet. But honestly, if I had a free-to-play account that looked like this, like that had a champion roster like this that I've got on my screen right now, would I even still play it? Almost definitely not. It would be the first thing up in like an account giveaway video here on YouTube if I had a free-to-play account that looked like this, right? And I'd be starting over tomorrow morning, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Just a little bit of random Socrates musing here for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy, man. Share your thoughts down below, man. What do you all think? Am I being crazy? Am I being wistful? Do I just need to go get some sleep? Probably all of the above. Thanks for stopping by, man. If you're looking to create a new account, man, and start off a new raid adventure of your own, make sure to get that done right now by using the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the description box, man. Use that link to create your new account for all of the freebies that you see on screen right now, and I am going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later.